Mhm. Hello, this is Alicia Clouser interviewing students and alumni from the first community, which stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. Um, and it's a program for robotics students from ages around like elementary school kids up to high schoolers, only for high school at that point. So
Yeah.
here we have is a student who is an alumni of Team 2486 The Coconuts named Amoy Myers.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us today.
Of course, of course. I would love to talk to my bestie, of course. Okay.
um, so speaking of the Coconuts, of course, why did you join the Coconuts?
Well, my original reason was that you persuaded me. Remember, you badgered me the whole summer because I was gonna join the year before that, but it was really hard to join. I didn't know that you could join at any point in the year. And then I was also doing a sport, and the coach at the time was not exactly the most friendly to the idea of doing multiple things. But then in the summer, ended up doing research, and then boom, I met you, and you were badgering me out. So you were like, you should do it though, because if you're interested in this, you'd be good at that. Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, okay, I love, the idea of, advocating, and I love STEM. And I figured, why not give it a chance, and put myself in a different environment and maybe, go places with people who have like minded ideas as me. So that was really why.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, on the topic of like friends and community,
Mhm.
what how did it feel like to be in such a close-knit community as first like follows along like the sport model?
Being in like first and experiencing that close knit community where everyone wants to help each other. And like I think, those first couple months, even though I've seen it, I saw in like the videos, and everyone was talking about it, when we actually started competing, or even when we started, doing just events around Flagstaff and in Phoenix, going to schools and talking and stuff, I really saw how interconnected everyone was, how much, people wanted to like help other coaches and stuff get teams started. And it really showed me like it was really more about not just making everyone connected, but uplifting each other and like empowering each other to kind of get that knowledge that they didn't have before and experience something that they never experienced before. So yeah.
Yeah, I can
So
tell like you have growth within like as someone who is from shy to someone who's more out there.
yeah.
What can you say was like what skills did you gain because you're in the coconuts and you're encouraged to do things?
Yeah. Like definitely the writing for like the our advocacy team, when we had to like write those for the presentation and stuff, that was pretty much like that really, I think, elevated my skill, because that was a different type of writing I've never really done before. It's kind of like I'm persuading you but also trying to inform you while also trying to sound exciting. Like it's like 50 different forms of writing trying to roll into one just to get a judge's like actual attention. um which I think is a good skill because it kind of helps with applying for scholarships for sure. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Like what different forms of communication did you learn in the team? Like, well, for example, programming, like the team members basically communicate in JavaScript and code, you know?
Hmm.
Like what and like how writing we use a different form of type of writing. Like what are those different forms of like speech and also lingo did you learn from the team?
I didn't really hang around the programmers that much because they have like a whole thing kind of going on for them. So it's kind of just like you don't really interact with them while they're working. And I was like, if I have no way to really help with that. So I didn't actually learn anything that much from them other than just watching, like just knowing that if, like if it's messed up, it's probably someone had too many spaces, there was not a comma, or you need to scrap the whole thing and start over. So I didn't say I really learned anything from them, but I did learn interpersonal communications in terms of like trying to diffuse like certain situations, and like handling how to like deal with frustration, and like when you're like sick and tired of looking at the same thing over and over and not getting any new ideas and stuff like that. That I learned from pretty much probably the whole team. um so, and like being able to just, I don't know, communicate without throwing that frustration back at another person. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something I learned.
From what you remember, what core value from the coconuts and first did you find interesting?
Find interesting? Wow. um Probably, if you say you're gonna do something, then do it. I don't really remember if that's like something from first, but I know that's something that Sapio and Thompson definitely tried to incorporate on our team as much as possible. Um, by just like, like if you say you want to do something or you want to try something, just go after it, just try even if it's not going to work out, or just following through on it. Like if you say you're going to help with something, just do it. And like worry about, whatever later, but just make sure if you like, you say you're going to help with the pictures, like you actually go and help with the pictures, and not having everyone else kind of come back 20 days later and be like, oh my God, we have no pictures ready, you know? So we're just, yeah, just trying new things, like me trying build and actually kind of liking it a little bit. So like, yeah, I would say stuff like that is probably the value that I found the most interesting, but yeah.